Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 here today giving you an NU tier Pokemon Showdown battle. And this is a team you've seen long ago, so I'll be very brief with this analysis here. So I have my big threats being Specs Glaceon and Banded Rampardos. And, well, they're not exactly the fastest things, so they need some support. And that's what the other four pokes are there for, to paralyze the opponents. I gave my big threats max HP and then max attack, max special attack, and that is so they're able to endure some hits, like some priority stuff, and that way they can also still deal a lot of damage, and their survivability is still pretty good. So for my supporting part of the team, I have Dunsparce, which is basically a Jirachi, and then I have Audino, which is Special Wall, T-Wave, and then I have Roselia, which is honestly a fantastic special wall. Plus it can use Stun Spore, which can paralyze anything, and then set up spikes as well. And then there's Wartortle, which is able to spin away as well as be a physical wall. So some people sorta think that this team is PU. Honestly, I think these are some amazing pokes. Let's face it, Rampardos is one of the strongest things in the entire game, and with correct setup, it's able to kill everything. And Glaceon, someone suggested that Jinx was the better approach as it did switch down, but honestly I wasn't thinking about that since this team has been around with me for a while, so I didn't really think about switching anything around. But now looking at his team, he has a Dwebble. And when I looked at that, I'm like, Dwebble. So I'm not sure if it's going to be some kind of gimmicky set. I'm going to have to see for that later. I look at Fracture, and that's a pretty big threat. It's pretty darn strong, so in case it Dragon Dances or anything, I actually carry the Haze on my Wartortle, so that's always good. That Ninjask is able to Baton Pass, and honestly, I give Baton Pass a lot less credit than it's really worth. Like, Baton Pass can definitely be a big threat. I don't like it too much personally, as I don't think I've had one team that I've showed you guys so far that uses it, but it can definitely work out, as it may work here, you'll see. Then he has Audino for being that big wall, and Braviary. I'm probably going to use Braviary in the future, because that thing is so good. Honestly, I think that thing could go up to RU soon, because it is strong. But yeah, now he also has Wartortle, and I'm sure has a fairly similar set to mine, although it might have Toxic compared to Haze. But yeah, let's see how this goes. So I start out with Dunsparce to get my rocks up, maybe paralyze some pokes, and he brings in Dwebble, and it is level 100, so it's nothing too gimmicky. But it's definitely going to be setting up a lot of hazards, so I gotta bring in Wartortle right away. I'm gonna Rapid Spin, I don't care what comes in. But Braviary does come in, and it has lefties, so I know it's kind of defensive, but I don't know what kind yet, because I've seen many defensive Braviaries. But this is sub, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is not going to end up well, because then I'm like, sub bulk up. Oh geez. And then he has Roost, which means he has one attacking move, this is actually a set I was thinking about right before this battle. But yeah, I have a Banded Rampardos. I am not going to play any games. I'm going to do a ton of damage, but he's at +2, so I'm not doing too much. I'm doing a third, which is decent, but I really have to get some damage. I'm like, defense drops maybe a crit, that's all I ask for. But yeah, I learn here that when you get a defense drop, that actually works for Defiant. I did not know that. So yeah, since he dropped 1 in defense, he went +2 into attack. So now he's at max attack, and I'm just like, I haven't even seen an attack move yet, but this thing is probably going to sweep me. So it goes for Brave Bird. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bluff the Scarf with Glaceon, and that way he might feel threatened enough that he's just going to go for the Brave Bird right away. And well, we kind of play a couple games. He goes for the Roost, which reveals that he's faster. So I'm like, oh shoot, that's not good. But I go for the Ice Beam, eventually take him out after he gets Brave Bird recoil. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank the Lord. That thing probably could have swept my team if I wasn't in the perfect conditions. So, now Wartortle comes in, not too worried. Sure, it can spin away and he can Toxic and all that, no big deal. But I bring in Roselia as I can basically counter Wartortle beautifully, and now he brings in his Audino after I'm setting up a bunch of hazards. And I know his Wartortle's still in, but I'm not really too worried about it, as I could definitely deal a nice chunk to it if it does decide to switch into Rapid Spin. Now the Ninjask comes in, and it's subbing up on me, and of course Speed Boost is a thing. And honestly though, I'm not too worried because I have the Haze in case he tries to go for a Swords Dance or something. But yeah, he just goes right into his Fracture, and it takes the hit, and then it outrages me. So I'm like, okay, I just go for the Haze because I thought it was going to DD, but he just goes for the Outrage right away. I don't know if it's Banded, I don't know if it's Scarfed, as my pokes aren't exactly offensive anyway. But yeah, my Dunsparce comes in, and I'm just going to go for the Body Slam to break the sub, and I just really hope that Fraxer hits himself, and he does. Thank the Lord. Otherwise this could be a much bigger problem because you'll see Dunsparce is player of the game here. So Dunsparce is going to roost here. I know he's going to Rapid Spin. There's nothing I can really do about it besides flinch him, but that would require my Dunsparce to die from Toxic. So now I switch out because I got to get a heal bell off to keep Dunsparce in the game, and I do such while he goes for the Wish. And here I'm just going to go for the knockoff because anything that I knock off on any Pokemon is definitely going to be very nice. So now I'm going to go for the Wish so I can pass it to my Dunsparce, and I'm pretty safe with it. I'm not really worried that he's going to do anything. He Wish passes to Wartortle, but that's not a big deal. My hope here is to Paraflinch it, but the first turn he gets the Toxic off. I'm like, alright, I am not dealing with this. I've got to go back to Audino. I can get that heal bell off. I don't want any statuses on anything. So I do go for such, and he goes for the Scald, and of course he gets the burn. But I mean, that's not a big deal. So I'm going to go right back into Dunsparce, not really fearing a Toxic. And he brings in Dwebble, and I'm like, okay, I cannot have all these hazards. And Dwebble's faster for one thing. So I go for my rocks, but yeah, he's getting so many hazards up. This is a problem. I need to Paraflinch him, hopefully until he dies. I don't want even one more spike up. So far it's going pretty well. Go for the headbutt, get the crit, but I'd much rather have the flinch than the crit because now he has all his hazards up. And yeah, Dwebble definitely did his job. So there are a ton of crucial hazards on the field right now, and I just need to be very wary of that because I cannot let my pokes get too low. If I can Paraflinch with Dunsparce eventually, I should be alright. But right now he's Toxic stalling me, and I just cannot afford to lose my Dunsparce. So I've got to switch out, and I go into Roselia just so maybe get a little bit of damage off. And so I'm going to come in, go for the Synthesis first so I don't lose my Roselia right now. But yeah, now I'm going to go into Audino as I'm not threatened by anything, and I can go for the Heal Bell. So he does go for the Wish Pass to his Wartortle, but I'm not really too worried about that. I go for the knockoff and I take off the Eviolite on the Wartortle, which is kind of important. So now I go for the Heal Bell. I'm not threatened by anything, and I should be set to Wish Pass to my Dunsparce. And even though it gets the Toxic off me, Regenerator will definitely give me a lot of that back, and now I'm pretty safe bringing in Dunsparce. So now it goes into Ninjask, and Ninjask really has nothing left to do in this game. I'm going to go for the Body Slam, because no matter what, there's no way he's going to be able to get up anything on me. Like, even a Speed Boost doesn't help his team at all, because number one, he doesn't have anything offensive, and number two, my Body Slam will eventually just paralyze. So I'm going to go for the Paraflinch on this Wartortle here, and he realizes that it's kind of futile to keep going, so he shortens the battle by just forfeiting here. So that was an awesome battle, RaikoTheTrainer. Guys, I think this was a pretty good battle. Although he forfeited with 3 pokes left, it honestly was going to end fairly soon anyway. So I thought this would be a pretty good battle to show you guys. It definitely showed some strategy compared to what you guys didn't really like yesterday. And I kind of explained that in one of the comments that it was a hyper-offensive team yesterday, so it didn't really require too much strategy, just required attacking over and over. But yeah, this battle was definitely very good. A lot of strategy in it. You guys can tell me what you think about it. And you guys can, of course, tell me what you think about the team, any improvements you want me to make on it. Of course, I'll take those suggestions. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.